Okay, this last video will be looking at the lateral and medial hind limb of the rat, and then a few other muscles just to point out kind of extra ones. So what we're going to be starting, where we'll be starting, is we're going to be starting with this large hunk of muscle here on the lateral hind limb of the rat. And it's always best, as usual, to start with the biggest, most obvious muscle. So this big guy here, this is the biceps femoris. This is part of your hamstring group. On the rat, it is a really large developed muscle, very tough. To actually dissect it out took a lot of work getting the connective tissue off, just kind of working back and forth very gently. So when you go in, first thing you want to look for is the biceps femoris. See it better there. Okay, once you find the biceps femoris, just caudally, there's going to be a small little strap of muscle. This small strap would be another part of the hamstring group called the semitendinosus. The semitendinosus is just caudal to the biceps femoris. Cranial to the biceps femoris is a thin sheet of muscle, thin but rather large. You can see I've kind of pulled it back a bit, and it runs right up next to the biceps femoris from the very front of the leg, actually all the way back. It would cover up the base of the tail here and up to the base of the spine. This is the gluteus superficialis. This would be similar to your gluteus maximus. Now, of course, the rat, since it doesn't stand upright, unlike us, it's really small. It's not a really important muscle to the rat. It's more of a stabilizer. Beneath, if you tease this gluteus superficialis back, there's another big muscle, but it is deep or underneath the gluteus superficialis. So to see it, you're going to have to kind of peel this membrane back. You don't have to tear it. You can see I still have it there, but you can't see it until you pull this back. This is the vastus lateralis. This is the primary muscle of the rat's quadricep group. So you can see, really, the rat has a lot of power back there in the hind legs. This muscle would be used more to flex the rat leg, while the biceps femoris would be to extend. So you see the rat really can get a lot of power for its size out of its hind limbs. Now, the muscles, hopefully we'll be able to see these well. I can see them, but I don't know. Oh, there we go. Okay, these are the muscles of the calf. So you have to pull back the biceps femoris just a bit to see the calf muscles of the rat. Though you see the biceps femoris, just a huge muscle. First and largest of the rat calf muscles is the gastrocnemius. It's kind of large hunk. It's the very ventral portion of the rat's legs to the back. This is the gastrocnemius. Just beneath the gastrocnemius, you can see there's a small strap of muscle, separate. This is a stabilizer to the gastrocnemius. This is the soleus. So gastrocnemius, soleus. The last muscle of the rat calf, and this would actually be more of a dorsal, or on you guys, I guess we would call it an anterior muscle, is the tibialis anterior. Sorry about that. Just sometimes have to remind myself. So tibialis anterior. So there you go. You have big old biceps femoris. Pull it back. Gastrocnemius, soleus, tibialis anterior. So remember, as you're learning these, once again, learn them in groups. Okay, here's our last group of muscles to go through. The last group is here on the interior leg. So when we go up, you can actually see, let me get this at a much better angle so you can see. So I'm gonna, yep, little hip pop there. I'll pull it out a little better. So the first, we're going to start interior or medial. The first sheet of muscle is the gracilis. The gracilis, oops, hopefully you can see right here, really runs from the medial portion, the base of the rat's tail, to the calf. It's kind of a thin sheet of muscle. Be careful about tearing. I've torn mine just a little bit here. Now just cranial to the gracilis, we have a second group of muscles. This is going to be basically the complement of the vastus lateralis, the vastus medialis. So this would be the middle large muscle of the rat quadriceps. And actually, according to my list, that covers the muscles. So, not too painful. If you have questions, remember to use your open lab time. And good luck.